What's up, everyone? Live with a Pepperoni here, and today we're going to be back on the Model A Roadster. We're going to be polishing off some odds and ends. We're going to be putting the front axle together with the brakes and everything. We're going to be filling the hole inside for the brake reservoir. We're going to be probably mounting the radiator, doing the rubber insulation that you guys have suggested, and a bunch of other little things. So hope you guys hit subscribe, and enjoy the show. So we've already had a little boo-boo, and I'm not proud of it, and this is why don't throw stuff away. So in my well-being, and I was just throwing everything away, I threw out the old brakes and everything, including the main bolts for here. And those are pretty special because they hold the actual drums, like the brake shoe pads, onto the actual rear backing plate. And that's both sides. Because I recalled when I was pulling them apart, I couldn't get them apart and everything, and we were kind of in a rush, so whoop-de-doo, not here. But my dumb butt didn't throw some stuff away. So on our way back from Manitoba from Half-Ass, we went and seen Kyle Carter from Carter's Auto Restyling. And he was like, oh man, I'm not into old stuff by old, I mean 20s, he's into 30s. He's like, I have these F1 brakes for your project if you want. So here they are. So I totally forgot I had these, but I'm grateful I didn't throw them away because they're really needed right now. So this is the bolt I'm talking about. They actually has like nice springs and everything. So I actually might use some stuff if the stuff that I got, because I got a bunch of retrofit stuff and I was just crossing part numbers and seeing what looked right from a picture on the Dorman site and stuff. So some of the stuff that I have might not actually work, but at least I have originals here that I can use. So it's a pretty big bolt here. I think it'll come out both sides. I'll just lube it up and torch it, make sure it's good. But this is what I was saying, like, they actually hold the pads in and stuff and hold this all together. So it's actually a very important piece that I forgot. So I'm gonna get taking these apart, and then we'll start putting the front axle together. Remember how I was saying maybe I'll use these springs? Look at that spring there. It's about to come apart. I don't think I'm going to use these springs. Okay, got these all done, got these all loosened off. I have new ones of these, but I don't know if they're the proper adjusters, because like I said, I just cross-reference, clean these a little bit, got the bolts and the springs for the bottom. So start putting them on and see if everything fits. For those of you that are new to here or haven't watched my other videos, these front brakes and everything, the spindles, the brakes, the hubs, they're off a 1949 Ford F1, so like a Ford pickup. They're a bit bigger, they're a bit wider, they're way more readily available than the earlier stuff. And it's just kind of what came up to here. This front axle is a 1936 Ford front axle that Lee dropped at LG Customs. So yeah, just kind of like some information on the axle and stuff and the brakes, because they aren't 30s or 40s brakes. They're actually, well, I guess they're technically 40s, but they went from 49 to 54 Ford F1 trucks. So yeah, if you guys didn't know, it all bolts up to 30 stuff. So another thing I didn't know, but these don't come with the new slave cylinders. So you have to take these out of the old ones. So lucky I got those. Oh, I wouldn't have done that. I'm gonna put some oil on these and then I will put those in once it's installed. I also got nice OEM bolts. So, Rabestus H1500. The adjusters appear to be the same as what I have. They're a bit shorter, but with the adjustment, you'll be able to make it no problem. The ends are the same. So, if you guys ever need to buy adjusters, you got a part number now. You guys have no idea how stoked I am right now. The internet was right for once. So I went down a rabbit hole trying to figure out what drum stock application I could use for this front end, because you can't really buy drums for these trucks anymore unless you go to like a restoration site and everything, and they're expensive. I'm like, they have to get the drum from somewhere. They just had to backwards engineer, backwards measure, and see what would fit a F1 brake. So after a bunch of research, measuring, Googling, and everything, I figured it out. So you use a 1980 to 1986 Ford Bronco four-wheel drive rear drum from a Ford 9-inch. Here's the part number right there. RS2677. And it works. Oh, the hub's perfect. That's perfect. It might be a bit too thick, as you can see. Maybe not actually. It works. We're gonna break soon. Ah! Couple things. I know I use the old springs because my guys didn't get the springs from me, so I'm gonna talk to the parts guy, but whatever. The old springs will be good enough for the amount I'm gonna drive this thing. Another thing I knew that I was gonna do, I just haven't done it yet because I'm talking to you guys. Since this drum is bigger than a factory 36 drum, and these are 36 wheels, this is flat, and obviously that's a cone, so I'm gonna just have to run wheel spacers. So right now I'll just measure the hub to here. That's about 1.25 inches. So I'm gonna have to get some 1.25 inches or 1.5 inch wheel spacers just to space the drum out to fit into the hub of the actual rim, because I want to run the wire wheels. So I knew that going into this, so I'm just gonna have to do that. I don't know if I need them for the rear too. Do I need them? No, the back. Since it's a 40 Ford, they came with wire wheels and stuff too, so that's okay. So, oh, I am so excited. So, got all the front suspension, well, not the suspension, but the drums on both sides. I gotta get the spacers. I'll put those on next week. But now we're on to the battery box, or battery hold down system that I'm gonna do. I was gonna do a nice folded sheet metal battery box, but I didn't have time on the weekend to do that. I had to cut other stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take some square bar that I have here, literally make a box around it, and then we'll do some uprights, and then we'll put some sort of tie down across the top here. Just cut a piece of flat bar of something, screw it down. That's done. That will be on the back side. That will be hidden. Nice and simple. Weld that to the body, and we have a battery situation. So I'm gonna get started on that. Let's just see if we can fit. We're gonna have to cut this down, but that's okay. It's just a bit further out, but that's okay. I'll go grab the Sawzall. I'm quite the dummy. So I'm gonna cut one of these sides off because the fender well obviously takes up the fourth side. So instead of doing all four corners, I'm just gonna cut this one off here since I screwed up. And then it'll only be three-sided. We'll weld this to the body and then we're set. Okay, so I've been looking around the shop now that I cut that off. I found these bolts, they're kind of big. But they fit into here almost they will fit into here with minimal work. Pretty much. So I just gotta grind these a little bit. They'll fit in here. We'll cut the length to here on the battery box down here. And we'll get it to sit probably like a 1/4 inch above with this fully seated. And then what that will allow us to do is this week when I go to my other shop with a CNC table, I'll just measure this. I'll cut one out quickly with some fun design on it. And then it's ready to bolt down. And now we have a battery box. We'll weld this in and we're done. I guess I forgot to hit record on the camera, but I just welded that all in. It's all good to go. This comes off, I checked. So now we're gonna measure. There, that's what? Center to center, 10 and 3/8. Yeah, about 10 and 3/8. So we'll just do a slot there. And we'll just make something fancy later out of 3/16 or something. But there's our battery box. It's tucked nicely in there. Unfortunately, the positive, I should have got a 51R, not a S, so then the positive is over here, but whatever. Doesn't matter. But yeah. Battery is 95% done. So I was thinking, I don't think the patch on the floor is quite worth doing yet. I can do that whenever. I should start focusing on the radiator, getting the radiator hoses on, the mounting, rubber isolated and stuff like I mentioned earlier. So that's what I'm gonna get started on now. Let's get it. I ordered some rad hoses. Where did they go? Right here. 2 same part numbers, 2 different sizes. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go back and return it, but that one should fit. Oh, you're not looking. That one should fit there like that. Once this is tilted back a little bit. So that'll go there. Like, it's hard with one hand. But that'll go there like that. And then I'll just have to order another one of that exact same hose and put it there. So these are actually really expensive, rare molded hoses that I got from Finland. And yeah, they're the only ones that I can find that have a like an offset like that, which I needed being that super close for this. So I'm just gonna cut them to fit and then mount them. So what I'm doing right now is this pulley here. I just need to cut it because my engine's too far forward, this main one here. So I'm just gonna cut the end off of it and then I can put my belt in. Now I can fit a belt in there. Nice. Okay, so some dude messaged me for this pulley here. So I'm gonna just pull this off, sell this to him, and he's gonna send me a single one. So what I'm doing here is, since this generator has the old style front on it and I don't want to cut it off because I have old style engines and stuff, I'm just gonna move it off to the side and then use a later model mount right here to act as like a middle ground for this. So what I have to do is I just marked it to drill a hole because there's a little pin here. there's a little locator pin right here. So what I'm gonna do is just drill the hole in here. That will sit on there, and this will all sit up straight, and this can drop down, and we're good to go. So here it is, see, it's all sitting flush in there. So now this thing just goes above it, screws in there like a normal one would. And now we'll just drop it down, adjust the belt, and we're getting there. Oh! So I think how I'm gonna tighten this up is we'll go maybe this here, and this going up. Ow! That was my finger. It went kind of loose for a second, and I'm like, oh no, did it strip out of the intake? Like, oh, but it got tight. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Got a pretty good, it's obviously gonna stretch, and then I'll probably have to go from the back side and lift it up once I have the rad and everything on. But for now, that's gonna be pretty good. We're getting there. So now what we're gonna do is, let's get these radiator hoses on. So I got the hoses all cut and everything, and they're kind of a bit too much offset, so it kind of pushes a radiator up here. So I think what I might do, I might just do an adapter on this, I'll just weld a piece of 1/4-inch plate to here with a hole on this side. And then that will allow me to cinch this down a little bit. And then I have easy access to the bolt rather than putting it through here because that's a real pain. And then when I lean it back a little bit, it'll just have on this, and that can kind of just go how it is. So it's on both sides, but you can see when I push it down, with minimal effort, it goes down. So I think that's gonna work. So these are all cut. Whoop. Got these 2 cut, so I'm gonna put 1 on each side. Whoop. And I'm gonna weld them in and we're good to go. Those are all melted into place. You can see the penetration, very good welding. Good to go. Now we're just gonna put the radiator back in, mark out the 2 holes, drill the 4 holes, and then clamp it back, and then I think we're pretty good. Look at this thing. Got these drilled, got them all welded up, so now we're just going to install the radiator again, and then that will be it. I'll put hose clamps on it later, but just for now, this will be fun. that is all there. And I think we have enough room. I know a lot of you guys are gonna hate on me for this, but I'm putting an electric fan on. So, is it gonna fit? Not at this moment. Ooh, that fits perfect in there. Look at that. Oh. Now that I'll go get some of those things, put them through there. That will be good for there. To run wiring for that. There is not a lot of room up there. It's quite tight. Like, not a lot of room at all. But that's okay. We only need enough room. Let's get that rad shell on there. I think I'm gonna just paint it black. I think that's gonna be what we're gonna do with this thing. That hides those bolt holes really nice. That goes there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at that. And I think that's gonna sum up today. Got quite a bit done. Got the brakes all figured out, got the rad supported, got the lower rad hoses on. Gotta find another upper rad hose, but I kind of like the corrugated one. I might order 2 of the corrugated ones and return this one now that I kind of have a length. We changed generators to the other 12-volt generator, got the belt aligned. See how nice that belt looks. Got a little battery box, battery tied on there. We'll still have to make a top for that. I'll measure it up. And yeah, I'm pooped and I'm running out of time. So yeah, if you guys want to head up to the website and you guys want to support me, lifewithapepperoni.com with 1P. I got stickers. I'm working on more merchandise and stuff, shirts. I got to do a minimum order. I'm almost there. So for real, guys, it will be soon. I'm just a one-man show and it's a lot to do. So hope you guys enjoyed. Next week, I'll probably do the gas tank. I'm going to do it out of steel, either 18 or 16 gauge steel. I will hand bend it all and we will fit it up and go. I'm going to go down and up here. It'll probably be a 12-inch by 24-inch by 12-inch top. I don't know. It'll probably be like 10 gallons or something. But that should be more than enough for this thing. I'll just do a little petcock on the bottom. We can run the fuel line through here and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.